Alright, so it's currently the break in between chapters 248 and 249, and I have a bunch of theories for what Yuji's powers are, because, like, we know he's gotten, like, some power-ups and shit, because, uh, I really don't think he'd be able to, like, just jump onto the battlefield without any, like, powers and whatnot or something. I don't know. I'm just, like, I've had these theories in my head for a while, and I kind of want to just, like, say them and shit, and hopefully next week they'll be proven right. I would shit my pants if this was true, but anyway, so with Yuji, right? We know now that he has reverse curse technique, because, like, in 248, he got cut up by Sukuna, but still managed to, like, heal the injuries and stuff. But also, he also has those weird fist things, right? And then, like, during the pre-Gojo versus Sukuna, little thing, like, Choso handed Yuji a book, Yuki's book about soul manipulation, right? Well, not soul manipulation, but, like, a book on the soul in order to, like, further his knowledge and stuff. And we also got confirmation that Yuji has soul swapping abilities, because with, like, the thing with Kusakabe and, like, that panel, right? So, and also, we can assume that Yuji has some sort of, like, blood manipulation because of the interaction he had with Choso and Kamo back during, like, the flashback thing in case Gojo loses. So, my theory is that Yuji will have, like, blood and soul manipulation abilities. Now, what I'm trying to say with that is, like, we know he has soul swap, because, like, even in the volume thing, Gege made a little doodle of, like, Yuji saying, like, oh, my body feels so much lighter now, so he definitely has, like, a soul swapping thing. So my theory is that, like, Yuji is able to control, like a weird soul thing, a soul liquid, I guess, but in the form of, like, blood manipulation, right? So that would, like, connect him to Choso and, like, the Kamo clan, because his mother was Kenjaku, so it would all line up with, like, the blood manipulation shit, right? So, like, Yuji would have some form of blood manipulation, and that would just be, like, normal blood manipulation, but instead of being, like, poison and shit, it would have, like, a property of, like, being able to, like, tangle with the soul, which would, like, sort of parallel Mahito, because, like, remember back whenever he was still around, he was always saying, like, oh yeah, Yuji Itadori, you're me, right? And, like, Yuji was like, alright, I don't, shut up, but then eventually he was like, I'm you and stuff. So it, like, now that, Yuji has, like, a soul swapping thing, that means that he's able to, like, it's sort of like a parallel to before, where, like, both Yuji and Mahito have soul-related powers. But, like, what I'm saying with, like, the blood manipulation is that, like, he can fire sort of like a blood beam, but with, like, soul properties, so it can, like, mess with the soul. And, like, we also saw how whenever he punched Sukuna for the first time, Sukuna got, like, a like a weird impact frame thing where he's like, oh, what's going on, what's this? And then he seemed, like, disoriented. So my theory for that is that he also has divergent fist, but, like, instead of doing a double impact to, like, the body with only cursed energy, it does, like, the double impact would affect the soul itself, which would be a neat way to, like, tie back into, like, Mahito, but also tie back to Sukuna, because Sukuna also has, like, soul damaging powers and stuff. But anyway, here comes the big one. I also think that, like, within another chapter or so, like, somebody is gonna get cut in half, like Gojo again. Probably Yuta, but it'll be like, now that Yuji has reverse curse technique, that means he has access to positive energy, right? And that means that he can do a reversal. Now, like, cut back to, like earlier. I don't remember who exactly says this. I don't know if it's Choso or if it's Yuki, but like somebody said that Yuji's body is like soaked in Sukuna's cursed energy. So like his technique is basically like engraved onto him or something, right? Or something like that. It was like, it's probably another reason why like the cleave and dismantle attacks do less damage, because it's Sukuna's own cursed energy, because that's what Yuji is covered in. But like what I'm trying to say is that now that he has positive energy, like we're gonna have a panel where it's like, oh shit, Yuta got cut in half, but then Yuji's gonna be like, cursed technique reversal, cleave, and then Yuta's gonna be like put back together or something like that. And this is mainly from like that one Broken Ronin vid, like the craziest Yuji theory you'll ever see or some shit like that. But like what he said there was like, it would be really thematically fitting or something like that if Yuji was also able to have cleave and like a cursed technique reversal version of that, because also cleave, like another word for cleave is putting things back together, and it would be like a cool parallel to Sukuna's, where Sukuna's cleave like cuts people in half and like cuts things in half, but Yuji's cleave will bring things together and stuff. So like my theory is that he has all of these things and they're all like linked to like the biggest parts of Yuji's connections and shit, because JJK is about like drawing strength from your friends and shit. But anyway, like, 1, Yuji will have cursed technique reversal cleave, which parallels Sukuna's cleave, because instead of like cutting things apart and like dissecting them, Yuji puts things together. Then 2, he has blood manipulation, which would be like a sort of way of connecting him to Choso and Kenjaku as like his relatives and shit. But it would also have like some soul manipulating properties, because that way it would be sort of like a parallel to Mahito and how they're like so similar and shit. And I've always wanted Yuji to have like soul manipulating powers, so that way like the parallels between him and Mahito become like even more so and shit. But anyway, the blood manipulation that he has will also have like a soul damaging manipulating property or whatever. But also his divergent fist, which was like his initial technique thing, will like the delayed impact will now be able to affect the soul, which is why like Sukuna, whenever he got hit, he was like, oh, what happened? I felt weird, because it would be like directly attacking his soul, the soul of Sukuna itself, instead of just like Sukuna's body, which would be like a callback to like whenever Yuji was still like a newbie and not able to like properly control his cursed energy and shit. But then with like the soul swapping thing, I'm hoping that like this will be like a way to honor Todo, because we haven't seen him in a while. But like, you know how he can like swap places with his soul and like somebody else's? He'll be able, like, we're gonna get a panel of him clapping at some point, and it's just gonna be like him swapping souls and like swapping bodies with like somebody in order to like take damage and shit or something. I don't know, but like it would be a nice parallel and like a way to show his connection with Todo, where it would be like a swapping thing, but instead of like positions, it would be souls. And like he could do it by like clapping or like winking in order to honor Todo. And then that way, like you could have, like with the soul swapping thing, you have a connection with Todo. With the blood manipulation thing, you have a connection with Choso and Kenjaku, but with like a soul factor added on top, which brings everything back to Mahito. And then you also have the cleave, with the cleave reversal with the positive energy that he has from the first curse technique, which would be a way to like tie back to the King of Curses and like his own his own thing and stuff. And like I really hope I'm right, because if I am, I would laugh my ass off. But like knowing Gege, he's gonna pull some random ass Sukuna blazing bullshit, and he's gonna get eaten or some shit. Actually, no, it'd probably be like Yuta. But like, dude, think about it. It would be so cool if it was like Yuta's fighting Sukuna and shit, and then like he's like really badly damaged, and he's about to get hit by the the world-cutting slash, and then all of a sudden we just get a a panel where it's Yuji with like a close-up of him and him saying curse technique reversal cleave, and then it's just like him getting fixed and Yuta getting fixed and stuff, or then and then like later on in that chapter we get to see him like do clapping and stuff, and it would be like him replacing his soul with Yuta's, and then the two like doing a JJK jumping on Sakuna and stuff, and then we also get like him using piercing blood mixed with the soul piercing thing. Like I don't know, I'm rambling too much, but that's just my crackhead theory on Yuji's power-ups. Hopefully I'm right and stuff. All right, bye.